Natalie, how are you?
I'm good.
I just want to briefly remind you before we start about the confidentiality rules. There are very few reasons why I will ever let our conversations out of this room. Do you remember what those reasons are?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay, so I'm just not going to go over it in the sake of time so we can have more time to discuss and work on issues this time.
Okay.
So, why don't you start? Why don't you tell me how things have been? How's your fiance?
He's good. His new job's been going really well. And really everything's been really good between us. The wedding plans are good. It's just that lately we've kind of been having a few little conflict and communication issues, I guess you would say, with like the holidays getting closer because like his mom's already contacted him about thanks or plans for Thanksgiving, and then I have my family plans. And I mean, we've had holidays together when we were dating, but we kind of just agreed back then not to, just to spend our time with our families separately. But now that we're engaged, we feel like we should be together and be celebrating holidays together. But his family has their traditions, and then I come from a family where my parents are divorced, and so technically I have two families to work with when it comes to traditions and holiday celebrations. And so I know it's still like a month away, but they try to make plans way in advance, and we're both really close to our families, so it's kind of been creating an issue between us because we don't exactly know what to do when it comes to the holidays. So we've just kind of been arguing, and then we usually just kind of argue for a minute and then just like don't talk for like half a day, and that's not good.
Okay, so if I understand you correctly, what you're telling me is that maybe you are maybe I wouldn't say scared. Maybe you feel guilty for having to balance this new life and this new commitment. Is that part of it at all? Is there maybe guilt for not for maybe just the possibility of you not being able to do everything that your family usually does?
I guess that could be part of it, and I feel like he probably feels the same way, and we
Yeah.
neither one want to hurt each other's feelings or
Yeah.
hurt each other's families by any means or keep each other, but we agreed a long time ago that we were excited because now we were going to get to spend the holidays together, and already his mom is calling about, when and where they're going to be doing their holiday celebrations. And my mom and I are really close, and I don't know what to do because we both want to do it pretty evenly, but we live on opposite sides of the state. So we live about 4 hours away from each other's hometowns. So it's been hard like balancing. And I guess like guilt could be part of it because I feel guilty like taking away his family, but at the same time, I I'm gonna feel like if we're spending majority of the time with his family, like I'm gonna feel guilty because I'm not with mine. And holidays already are really confusing and really stressful for me anyway. With my parents being divorced, they're not necessarily something I look forward to because you always have to manage like two different occasions, and it's always been really stressful anyway. And now we're throwing in a third family, and so we just don't really, yeah, I just don't really know what to do.
That sounds very stressful.
Yeah,
That's extremely stressful,
it is.
especially when holidays are already a stressful time for you as it is,
Mhm.
and then to add in a new complex aspect of it that just must be very overwhelming for you.
It is, and like I said, like holidays have always been like I love the holidays just because it's the holidays. It's always fun. Thanksgiving's fun, and Christmas is fun. But when you have like a family where when I was like 16 until like now, I've always had to like it's like a balancing act between my dad and my mom, and both of them. If you spend more time with the other one on a certain holiday, kind of my dad more than my mom pull like the guilt trip of, oh, you spent all day Thanksgiving with your mom, and I get the day after Thanksgiving, and I'm like, it's been stressful for me and my siblings because we've always been like, well, it's still Thanksgiving, we're still celebrating. It might not be like the date of everyone else's celebration, but it's still like that's not the purpose behind it. And so, like I said, it's just it's already been hard enough, like the holidays for me with my parents separated, like divorced, but they've been divorced for 5 years, and so you'd think we already have like a certain rotation down, and we still don't. And so every year it's like confusing. And then Jake's been trying to be real supportive of that, and he really was last year when we were just dating. But now it's hard since we do have like this third family like in there. Like he was so like good to me last year about everything. I do feel a little guilty like not being so good to him like this year, but I just don't know like how to balance him and his family and then my chaotic family.
Chaotic family?
Yeah, I would just say it's kind of chaos. Like my family's really close, but like I said, my parents are divorced. Only one of them is married. The other one has like a girlfriend. And then my mom's side I have a huge family, and so we always have like Christmas or Thanksgiving with the whole big family, and then just like my mom and my siblings. So there's already like 2 celebrations going on, and there's 4 of us siblings, and they're all married besides me, and all have kids, and so there's tons of people running around. And then my dad's side, it's a lot smaller because it's just him and then his girlfriend, and then my grandparents, his parents, are very strict and very set in their ways. And then all of like my cousins on that side live in completely different states, and so it's like when the holidays come around, it's like we never know if people are coming from out of state, and if not, then you feel bad because it's just dad and like my dad and his my grandparents, and so you're like, well, I have this whole big family I could celebrate with, or I could celebrate with these 3 people, and that's all they have. So the holidays are just chaotic. That's how I try to explain them, because I mean, I love them. That sounds like kind of bad,
of
but
course you do.
but it's just a lot to handle. And like I said, I just feel really bad for Jake because he has always been real supportive of my family and all of it that comes with it. And then his family's a lot smaller. It's just him, and he has a younger sister that's like a year younger than him, and they're really close. And then just like their parents who are still together, and so they've only had to ever worry about just the 4 of them. And so, I mean,
just a new aspect.
It's just 2 different worlds, and we're trying to, in the best way possible, mesh them together. But it's kind of creating conflict between us because we argue about where we're going to go and who we're going to spend time with. So,
well, I mean, that can't be easy.
No.
Well, how about we do this? How about, is Jake available next Wednesday? Do you know?
He probably would be. I mean, at least if I talk to him, I'm sure that he would be able to
work something out.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, if that doesn't work out, maybe we could set up a different time or something like that. But why don't you bring Jake in here with you next week?
Mm-hmm.
Or if you want to set up an appointment earlier than that, that's perfectly fine. Just call Merrick, my secretary, and she'll get it all worked out for you.
Okay.
I really want to talk to the both of y'all about this, and maybe we can really get to the bottom of the conflict. Like, I see where you're coming from, and maybe that could help him more understand what's going on, and maybe we could figure something out to ease the conflict with y'all.
Yeah, I think he would be more than willing to come in because neither one of us want to start our relationship like arguing about each other's families. So I think he'd be more than willing.
Well, I hope everything goes well until then, and just call and set up a new time, and I'll see you next time, okay?
Okay, sounds good.
All right, thanks.
Thank you.
Bye.